Hey you guys, I am back with another video. Sorry that it took me so long to bring you guys another video, but nursing school is kicking my ass, okay? By the title of this video, you can tell that this is going to be another nursing school video. All about my journey getting into nursing school, starting from the bottom, and now we're here. I know that's lame, but... So let's get started. I feel that this video would be very motivating to those who are trying to get into nursing school. They have some issues in the past, some issues with their grades. They don't think they can get in because their grades are so bad. My grades were not up to par to get into nursing school. It is motivating, I think it's inspiring, and I also feel like it will help somebody who was in the same predicament that I was in and feel like they can't or won't be able to get into nursing school. So without further ado, let's get started. So my journey starts from a long time ago, not that long, but a long time ago. So I'm going to try to make this video as short and to the point as possible, because none of us got time to sit here through, hours and hours of my whole life story as to how I got here. So I graduated high school back in 2009. Right away, I did not really know what I want to do with life. I wanted to become famous. Either by dancing, not like stripper dancing, but like basketball or football, cheerleader or dance, whatever. I wanted to either dance, I wanted to sing, or I wanted to model, or if I was lucky to become an actress. Like, I just wanted to be on somebody's TV screen and everybody knew my name and I was living the good life. Like, that's what I saw myself doing at a younger age when I was 17, 18 years old. So when I graduated high school in 2009, of course I wasn't famous, or I didn't become famous, so I had to go to college. My major of choice was psychology, but right before school started, during like the orientation of school, I changed my major to business administration. Why did I change my major to business administration from psychology? Like the night before orientation, my godfather sat me down and had like a life lesson talk with me, I guess. And he asked me like, what do you want to go to school for? And I told him, I think, I want to major in psychology. Like, I feel like I'm really good at giving advice to people. But honestly, I'm not really great at taking my own. I mean, that's just going on now. Like, I'm really good at giving people advice, but I'm not good at following my own. But I felt like I would, at the time, I felt like, I'll be a good, psychologist or even a psychiatrist. Like, I felt like I was good. I was good at that. Or I would be good at that. So, he was like, nah, I see you like owning your own business. You got your Gucci bags, your Louis bags, your Louboutin heels on, and you just stunting on. I'm like, shit, I can see that for myself too. Shit, driving a Benz, bags on bags on bags, money in my pocket. Yes, I can see that for myself too. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not change my major? So I changed my major to business administration. I actually don't know why I didn't just change it to business. I just thought like business administration sounded a little fancier. I'm being so real with y'all. Like, I was a dingbat. Like, I was a dingbat. I didn't know nothing about school at all or what I wanted to do. Like I said, I wanted to be famous. So, first year of college, I went to, I majored, like I said, I majored in business administration, and I get oh my gosh, like the freedom of just being away from my mom and my sister and my godfather and having my own, not really privacy because I had roommates, but like being on my own and not having to answer to nobody and not being able to take, not really take care of myself, but being on my own and stuff like that excited me. I didn't have to worry about having to answer to nobody, why I didn't come home at a certain time, why, did I not do my homework, or, not going to class. Like, I didn't have to worry about that. So when I first went to college, I enjoyed my freedom, and I enjoyed it a little bit too well. I partied, I skipped classes, I was more focused on, my own happiness, like trying to find my own happiness, like trying to really just have fun more than get through college. So as you can probably guess, I did not do well my first year of school. I made it out of the semester with a GPA less than 3.0, just put it to you that way. It was like 2 point something, and I was like, well, I'll try again next year or next semester or whatever. So because of the location of the school, I did not really like where I was at, like in the middle of nowhere. I was used to being in the city. I decided, I'm gonna go back to Dallas. Fall 2010, I went to a community college near my home, and I was around my friends, and I was around my boyfriend, and even though didn't have as much freedom, like I kind of still was like, I guess felt grown, I don't know. And I still did the same stuff. I was more focused on like hanging out with my friends and having a good time than I was with school. I had changed my major again to something else. Like, I don't really remember what it was, but I want to say maybe pre-law. I don't know. But I mean, whatever it was very short-lived. Like, it didn't last that long. So of course, when I went back to school at this new school, I did not do well as well. So by the end of the school year, so I started there fall 2010, and then spring of 2011, which is a whole school year, I was on academic warning because my grade point average was below a 2.0, and they would give you another semester to basically redeem yourself and get above that 2.0, or they would put you on academic suspension, which means you will be out of school for a whole semester, or they won't let you enroll for a whole semester. Fall 2011, I went back to school, and I still didn't get above that 2.0 mark, and I ended up getting on academic suspension. However, I didn't know it at the time because I decided during that semester that I wanted to go back to my old school, which was the one in the boonies and stuff like that, in the middle of nowhere. Don't know why, but I guess because I just wanted my freedom back. I don't know, but I found out I was going back there, so I had, transferred the next semester back to my old school. And when I got there, I was like in a different headspace. I guess I wanted the freedom and wanted the privacy and all that stuff. But when I got there, I just realized that that place was not for me. And I was better off back where I was at. And I had changed my major again. I remember changing my major again to criminal justice. And I don't know, for some reason I was infatuated with law at first, and then I was infatuated, not really, I won't say infatuated. I was interested in law at one point, and then I was interested in like becoming, I don't even know, but it was something with criminal justice, y'all. Like, my head was everywhere. Like, if being famous didn't work out, I just, I do this, I'll do that, or whatever. So spring of 2012 which was when I went back, and I still did not do well. Like, I was not interested in school. I was interested in everything else but school. Like, I wanted to have fun. And as you can probably tell, there's a pattern. Like, I was not doing my best. I wasn't interested in school. I was just going with the flow because I knew that's what I had to do. If I didn't go to school, I had to work. And I was working part-time places, but that wasn't enough. So that means I had to go to school. So After that semester, like I said, I didn't do well that semester, so I decided to go back to my old community college, the one that was like down the street from my house, the one I had got academic suspension and warning from. Decided I wanted to go back, but like I said before, I didn't know I was on academic warning. So since I did not enroll there that next semester, when I came back, they told me, no, you are on academic warning and you are not allowed to enroll this semester. You have to, you basically have to sit out a semester. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do with myself, for a whole semester? And, I just like, well, it can't be that bad. I'll just go and find a job. So that's what I did. I found a job working at a bank on the back end, like customer service, and then I was also a loan servicing document specialist or something like that. But it's basically on the back end. Like I was working with customers for a little bit with the customer service part, but then I didn't like that. I can't stand call centers for the life of me. So then I just decided to do something else back on the back end of things, and I became the specialist. And it was basically just a desk job, and I didn't have to deal with customers. I didn't have to deal with no attitudes as far as other customers or anything like that. All I had to do was just, do some simple, easy work and get paid for it. During all of this time, from 2009 to up to this point where we're like at 2012, my grandmother was sick. She had been diagnosed. She was diagnosed with emphysema, and she was getting like progressively worse. To a point where she wasn't able to go outside because she would get sick, or she'll have, flare-ups. She couldn't breathe, or, just to the point where she was in and out of the hospital a lot. And so during this time, I remember visiting her at the hospital one day, and I was watching her getting treated by a respiratory therapist. And I was like interested, like watching her and seeing what she was doing, and she was like changing, like from what I can remember, she was like changing some tubes and lines and stuff like that. And I just was looking, and then I asked her, I was like, so what is it that you do and everything. She told me she was a respiratory therapist. She was telling me like what did she do to help my grandmother. And then I asked her, I was like, well, what did you have to do in order to become a respiratory therapist? She was like, well, I had to go to school and get accepted into a program, and then upon completion of the program, she was a respiratory therapist. It's like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. And from what I was looking at her do, it seemed pretty interesting. That, I guess, started me on researching more in depth of respiratory therapists and the healthcare field in general. So I looked into respiratory therapists, and I don't know what made me look into nursing, but I remember like researching both at the same time. Like, okay, respiratory therapists, they focus on pretty much like the respiratory system, where nurses, their focus is more on your everything, and they treat you and they help the patient and do all of this different stuff. And I was like, this sounds pretty interesting. Like with the respiratory therapist, they're focusing on like one main thing, where the nurse is focusing on the body as a whole, not just one main system or one, it just was like more in depth with a nurse. So I was like, okay, cool. And just being brutally honest with you guys, the money did come into play, where it was like respiratory therapist gets paid this much, where a nurse gets paid this much. So I started looking into nursing a little bit more because of everything that they do, and also the money and the amount of like school and everything that they had to do. I just started looking into everything about nursing. I switched focus from respiratory therapist to nursing. After this semester ended, the semester that I couldn't go to school in, the one I had to sit out from, after that ended, the next semester came about. I decided to enroll into a different school that was more closer to the job that I was working at. So it was a community college. And I remember when I went there and I told them that, oh yes, I want to change my major to nursing. The advisor kind of looked at me and she was like, are you sure you want to do nursing? Like, looking at your grades here, I mean, nursing school is quite competitive. I don't think you're going to be able to get into the nursing program, like anytime soon. You're going to have to do a lot of work in order to be able to be competitive for nursing school. GPA isn't that great, and the classes that you've taken, I mean, you didn't do too well in them. Like, I see a lot of C's and D's and withdrawals and F's, and so yeah, you're gonna have to do some work. And I was like, okay, well, what, I mean, I'm not hurting anything if I do, and I'm only hurting myself if I don't. And I really was at this point just kind of like, really, my interest was really peaked on nursing. So I decided to just keep on with it and decided to go ahead and change my major to nursing and start the classes. So my first science classes, my first 2 science classes was A&P and microbiology. I loved A&P. Like, I loved it. I love learning about the body. I love learning the different bones, and I love learning about the different systems. And before nursing school, before taking A&P, I never thought that the heart and the respiratory system, or the heart and the lungs, had anything to do with each other. Like, I thought, oh, your heart just, it just beats and pumps the blood, and the lungs helps you breathe. But I never knew like the heart was actually connected to the lungs. Like, I never knew that, and it interested. Like, I was just like so excited to learn all this new information. Like, I remember going home to my boyfriend and telling me, oh, you know this, and I still do that now. Like, this happens with this, and this does this, and if this happens, then that means you got this. And I was just so interested. It was like eye-opening, and I had never ever been so interested in anything in school before. As y'all can see, as y'all have already heard, like, I failed or didn't do so great in a lot of my classes, but I think that was also because I just wasn't interested in school, and I wasn't interested in what I was learning. So micro, I love that class too. Took that, made a B. A&P 1, I ended up making a B in, but I was just really happy. I just really loved the class. Most of it was just because of tests. Like, I didn't make straight A's on tests or whatever, but either way, I loved A&P and micro. Not only did I have to take my nursing classes, the classes to get me into nursing school, I had to go back and repeat the classes that I took before that I didn't do so great with. So a lot of the classes that I was taking was classes that I took before, and I had to redeem myself with. So I took A&P too. Like I said, I loved it. Chemistry and statistics though, y'all, chemistry, well, no, both of them, but mainly chemistry almost took me to the edge. Like, I was like, I'm ready to jump. Like, I can't do this. Like, this is so freaking irritatingly stupid. Like, how does this equate to this? And I don't understand. Like, this is so, math is not my strongest subject, but to correlate math with science, all that, it's just like, you know what, this is too much. I hated chemistry. Could not stand it. I had to end up taking chemistry a few times because I just was not grasping the concept, and I was not going to give up on nursing because I loved it so much at this point. Like, I really loved nursing. Like, really loved what I was learning, and I loved the thought of becoming a nurse. And especially because my grandmother was sick, and wanting to be able to one day help her and help people like her, that kind of just motivated me to keep going. So I wasn't going to give up. I don't care how many times I had to take chemistry, I was going to keep doing it, and I had to take it a couple of times. Statistics I took twice. Chemistry I took like 3 times till I got it. So yes, I did do some repeats, and yes, there were some schools I could not apply to. We'll get to that later, but yes, there were some schools I could not apply to because I had to repeat so many classes, but I still went through it. So anyway, I also noticed a shift in my GPA. Like, I was doing significantly well in school. I wasn't doing as great. Like, I wasn't making, my grade point averages wasn't like a 3.7 or 3.9, but it was still good. It was better than what it was, and I was very proud of myself that I was so focused and wanting to, like, really interested in school. I did party though. I did still have fun with my friends and my boyfriend and all that stuff. So that did cause a little bit of problems. But for the most part, I was happy. I was happy and interested in school. So yeah, like, even though we're having to repeat classes, having to take classes that was significantly hard, yes, a part of me was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard. But most of me was like, I have to give this a shot. Like, I have to keep going. Like, I cannot stop. I can't. Like, I honestly feel like nursing is what I'm supposed to do. I would start talking about it, like talking about my story or like how I wasn't interested in school, and noticing like how interested I was now in school. And I felt like it was a sign that this is what I'm supposed to do, because by this time, like, I would have probably already changed my major to something else if I didn't like it. So I knew that I had to keep going. So 2014, January 2014, I'm sorry, y'all. I recorded this video before, and I had to re-record it because of this topic I'm about to say. So I am trying really hard not to get emotional. But January 2014 was when my grandmother passed away. And she was my motivation to become a nurse, because of her being, ill and, in and out of the hospital. I wanted to be able to help her. I wanted to be able to know what was actually going on with her. I had, at the time when I found out what was wrong with her, and that she had emphysema and she had heart issues, all I knew was that, she had emphysema and she had heart issues. I didn't know what emphysema was. I just knew it was something that happened to do with her lungs, and she smoked cigarettes, so she probably got, I always see like her cigarette packs and the warnings on there that says that, cigarettes may cause cancer, emphysema, all this different stuff. But for her to actually have it, I had no clue what it actually was. And then for the heart issues, I didn't know why I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. So I wanted to become a nurse to be able to help her and to help people like her. She was my motivation. I remember having a talk with her about me being a nurse, and she was really excited and really happy that, she was gonna have young ladies in her family, because it's me, and at the time it was one of my other cousins who wanted to become a nurse too. And she was really excited that we wanted to be, nursing. She was like, I'm gonna have 2 nurses in the family, and I'm really happy for you guys. And she was just like, I never had a moment like that with her before. Like, yeah, we would talk and, laugh and kid around, but it was just, I never heard her talk about like how happy, if she did, that's the one moment that really stuck out with me. Like, that moment, like her telling me like how happy she was that I was pursuing nursing and I was in school and I was doing something, with my life. And just sitting there and just hearing her talk, I just was like, this is who this is why I need to continue. This is why I need to go strong and go hard and continue to get to nursing school and to become a nurse, so I can help her. I can understand what's going on, and I can help her get better, and being able to, tell her not to do certain things, or, I just wanted to help. I really wanted to help her. So when she passed away, I didn't look at that as a time for me to give up. She's looking down on me, and she would be upset if I was to give up, if I was to stop doing what I'm doing, if I was to stop, trying to become a nurse, if I didn't become a nurse. I felt like I would be disappointing her. But like I said, because of how I knew how she felt, it just gave me the fuel and the motivation just to keep going and to keep trying and to not give up. So 2014 was a really hard year for me. I wasn't as focused on school as before, but I didn't give up. Like I said, I continue to keep working on my classes. I continue to keep retaking classes. I kept working hard to try to do better with my, GPA and get that up so I could have a better chance of getting into a nursing school pretty soon. I remember also in 2014, like I moved away from home. My mom decided to move into my grandmother's home. It was in a different city, over an hour and a half away. And I was still in Dallas, and I decided to move with my boyfriend, and my sister joined the military. So I basically felt like I didn't really have anyone in Dallas. So I stayed there. I continued on with school. I went through a really tough time during the time, and then finally in early 2015, I decided that I wanted to move back with my family in Houston. Majority of my family is in Houston. So I decided to move here. I moved in with my aunt to get back on my feet. I enrolled in school here. I had a job. I just basically started all over. Kept retaking classes, kept doing what I had to do. I was also taking the HESI exam. I had took that a couple of times, and since I had to keep retaking classes, I was just like, well, why not, you could just retake the test until you get the grade you wanted, because like my lowest grade was like a 72 or 73 on the HESI, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna just keep going and keep taking it until I get a better grade. When I moved to Houston in 2015, I even started, looking into going ahead and started applying, because by that time I had already taken enough classes that I needed to in order to get into a nursing program. But I still knew I needed to work on some issues, but that was fine. So I applied to my first nursing school, and I only applied to one, which I ended up becoming an alternate for, but I didn't get in. I started working in the corporate retail field, and at first I actually loved it. I had a salary paycheck. I knew exactly what I was going to get paid every 2 weeks. The money was great, especially for a single young female, trying to make it. It was great for me. It was a desk job, but it was just, I felt like at first it was something that, doable. I saw it as an option if nursing school didn't work out. By this time, it was getting tough. I spent a lot of time, from 2013 to 2016 to 2017. I was busy taking classes that I already had taken. I was taking nursing school classes for this school in case I got here, and this school. I was trying to get in somewhere out, not just one specific school, just any school I can get into in the state of Texas or in the city of Houston. I was just trying to get somewhere. So this school wanted you to take these classes, and this school wanted you to take this classes. This school wanted you to take. So I was just taking classes, just taking them, because I just was like, I need to get in somewhere. If I'm gonna do this, I need to get in somewhere. I'm tired of spending money on classes, because I had even started paying for my classes out of pocket. So I was making the money. I could have just paid the classes out of pocket. So after a while of working this corporate retail job, I started to hate it. It was starting to become stressful. The work itself was just it would be to a point where you would spend hours and hours and hours on a project, and then you show it to your boss or you show it to a different manager or the person that you're working for and they don't like it, or they want you to change stuff and you have to spend more hours working on that and finishing that, and you had deadlines, and it was just like, you know what, this is not for me. Like, I don't want to work here. I don't want to stay here. I would be in my car on lunch breaks or just breaks, sitting on Snapchat in my car, ranting about how I hate my job, how I need to focus back on nursing school. That job also helped me get into the law of attraction, which is basically using your mind as your way of manifesting the things you want through positivity and affirmations. So I would, stay positive. I would write little notes on my desk, saying to, stay positive, and positivity quotes and things of that nature. So once I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm just ready to quit. I'm ready to cuss this lady out. I'm ready to throw this computer in the fucking window and just get the fuck up out of here. Like, excuse my language, y'all, but I hated that. That's how much I really started to hate that job. So looking at those quotes and those notes and everything like that made me just say, just think positive. You're gonna get in. And I kept saying that to myself. I even wished it. Like, I felt like I not wished it, but I manifested me getting into nursing school last year, because 2016 for sure, like, I remember my mom talking about, like, oh, next year we're going on a cruise, so you need to go ahead and save your money up and give us the deposit, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm not going on the cruise with y'all. And she was like, why? And I was like, because I'm going to nursing school next year. And she was like, well, just in case you don't get in, you can still go. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to nursing school next year, so I'm not gonna give y'all no money for no deposit. So she was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pay your deposit anyway, so you can be my roommate for the cruise. I was like, okay, but just know you wasting your money, because I'm getting into nursing school. And sure enough, like, I got in. I took the HESI test. My last time I made a 93. I saw that as a positive sign. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I need to go ahead and start applying for schools. I applied to 5 colleges. One I did not get into. My first school, the first school I applied to, I did not get into. I got a denial letter. 3 of the 5, I got an alternate position. And then the 5th, or the last school, which is the one I am in now, I got accepted to as a full offer. So at the end of everything, I ended up getting, out of the 3 that I ended up getting the alternate positions, I ended up getting offered 2 full offers from out of the 3 of those. And ended up getting into 3 nursing programs. And I mean, like, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I stayed positive. Like, I found the positivity that I needed in order to get to where I wanted to go, which was nursing school. I stayed positive. I remained humbled. I prayed. I literally, like, was sitting, like, wishing and praying that I would get into nursing school, telling everyone I'm getting into nursing school next year. Oh, I'm going to be in nursing school. I'm going to do nursing school. And I got in that following year, that year, last year, 2017, I finally got into nursing school. So I started nursing school last August of 2017. I am into my 3rd semester of nursing school. After this semester, I have 1 more semester to go. I will be graduating in December of this year. Like, y'all, I don't know if I explained it well enough how hard this journey has been from the beginning, since 2009 in high school up till today. How troubling and how just off this journey has been. Like, it was not no straight and narrow path to get here. It was not a path that many would follow. After a certain point, many would have given up. When I finally realized how positivity can really help me and help me through this situation, through life in general, how positivity can just help me through life. I finally got everything I wanted. I got into nursing school. I am on my way into becoming a nurse. That's really, at this point, that's all I really wanted, to just get into nursing school and just to kill it. I really am, and I'm really happy. And yes, nursing school is bringing some true emotions and sides out of me that I never even knew that existed in me. But I cannot wait to become a nurse, y'all. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I love this field. Like I said, I told y'all before, like, the money in nursing kind of helped me, you know, guide me to become a nurse rather than a respiratory therapist. Now that I am actually, you know, learning what the nurses are learning and standing side by side and in the clinical, and I know with clinicals, you know, you're not really actually working as a nurse, but I love it. I love clinicals. Like, I love going there. I love helping the patients. I know the patients also love how I help them, because almost every time I would leave, you know, the floor, the unit, a patient, at least one, would tell me, oh my gosh, you're going to be such an amazing nurse. You're going to be such a great nurse. Like, you have such an amazing heart. You really look like you want this. Like, I can tell you're going to be an awesome nurse. And I believe that too. I really, really do. So this journey is still going. It is still, you know, moving right along. It is almost the end of nursing school. I am so freaking happy, but I am not giving up no matter what. I'm gonna keep going. And to all of y'all who are going through your own journeys and you feel like giving up, you feel like there is no way, you know, to get to the main goal, which is probably getting to nursing school or just becoming a nurse yourself, don't give up. Don't do it, because the moment you give up could be the moment you're about to get in it and you just giving up on yourself. So please don't give up. I'm really happy in my choice, and I feel like y'all will be too. So I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna just go ahead and end this video. But if you really like this video, please comment below, like this video, share this video, email me. My personal email address is in the description box below. You can do, what else can you do? Oh, you can click on the bell so you can get more notifications as to when I post another video. Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers yet, but the ones that I do, the ones who I don't know your name right off the top of my head, and I'm so sorry, but the person who did request this video, thank you. Everybody, like, thank you so much. Thank you. But yes, continue to keep watching my videos, you guys. I'm gonna be posting up more pretty soon. My schedule is a little bit hectic right now because we are in the summer semester of nursing school, so everything's a little bit fast-paced, but I will be making some time for you guys and to post more videos. So just bear with me, but more are coming. More videos are coming in the future. Until next time, you guys, bye.